All right, so social media has opened up a world of opportunity, but that can also be a really confusing place, especially for young people. The goal at times for them, even some adults, appears to be who can get more likes or who has more followers, and that can lead into all kinds of problems. Is there a healthy balance, though? And if so, what is that healthy balance when it comes to teenagers' desire to become a social media star? That is a question that has gone viral right now, in part because of Piper Raquel. She has 4.8 million Instagram followers. She has 8.3 million subscribers on YouTube. She posts pictures of herself in crop tops and bikinis. By the way, she's only 14. Her Instagram account says that it is an account managed by family. And that's where the controversy comes in. Singer Pink is suggesting Piper's family is exploiting her for Instagram likes. She went on to tweet about this. She said, how many kids like Piper Raquel are being exploited by their parents? And at what point do the rest of us say this isn't okay for a, say, 14-year-old to be posing in a bikini whilst her mother takes the photo? By the way, Piper's mother says she's just trying to support her daughter's dream. She says, quote, as Piper wants to do this and it's her passion, I'm here for her to follow that dream and protect her. Obviously, there is a lot to unpack here. What is okay and what is not okay to post when it comes to teens and tweens on social media? And are they prepared to deal with the kind of negative attention or feedback they may get? Well, kids are different, experts say. Keep that in mind, and it's kind of hard to put an exact age on when it is okay for young people to use social media, but they do say parents should use extreme caution. All right, there was a lot there. So we've got our panel, and I know we're going to start, I guess, with Amanda, but I heard Brooke is super passionate, so watch out, everybody. I'm just warning you right now. Amanda, what do you think?
Well, okay, first of all, I'm so grateful that I didn't have social media at that age. I can't even imagine the kind of peer pressure these teenagers, especially teenage girls, are facing right now. Secondly, I completely agree with Pink. I think it's absolutely inappropriate to be posting those kind of photos of a 14-year-old girl with a bikini on. Who are these people following her? It should be a private account, in my humble opinion. And so you can support your child's dreams and not sexualize your child. I'm sorry. That's what I have to say.
Okay. Maria, you want to go next?
You know, I love you, Amanda, but I'm going to disagree on this case because Piper is a totally different kind of entity. This conversation, I agree with everything you said about normal teens and tweens. As parents, I think we should definitely be watching what our teens and our kids are doing on social media. But Piper is a business with millions of followers on YouTube, Instagram. They definitely are making money. She is definitely, she's profiting from this. So she's in a different category, not much different from athletes, singers, performers, and actors. So she's a little bit different. So I think there's going to be two different kinds of conversations going on here. So when you're talking about just regular teens, I agree 100%. But with Piper, she's a business. She wants to do this for a living, and I think she has every right to do what she wants to do.
But what if, hold on a second, what if you're a teen looking up to Piper and thinking, I want to be like Piper?
Again, parents need to monitor their kids, and if that's who you're following as a teen, as a child, then you need to talk to your children about the real role models that you should have and talk about what's real on social media and what's not. So she's definitely putting on a show. She's creating a program, content for her social media channel so she can make money.
Okay, so Sandra has a daughter, so I'm curious to know, maybe your opinion is different.
Well, my goal as a parent, obviously my daughter is still young, 6 years old. I hope she stays off social media for as long as possible. Obviously, it's not possible. At some point, she is going to jump on. But the judging and the whole comparison, it's a troubling kind of entity for everyone. But look, we live in a time where Kim Kardashian became famous off a sex tape. Her whole family capitalized off of that. There are millions of people who emulate that or want to be like that family. And I, as a parent, cannot judge another family, a young person, for doing what they're doing on social media. I can only control what I can in my very small sphere. Also, that means, like Maria was saying, to not have my daughter look at accounts like that. If Piper wants to do that, fine. If her parents support that, fine. Other people are going to have problems with other kids in their dance costumes, in the way they model, perhaps, or go into kids' pageants. And so every parent can judge or not, but clearly it is up to you as a parent to really regulate what your child is looking at, what you're supporting, and what you're modeling for your own child. So again, I mean, I'm not here to judge them, what they're doing, whether or not it's exploiting Piper, but clearly there are so many dynamics when it comes to social media, and we're all trying to navigate this together.
Okay, Brooke, you don't yet have kids, but I'm curious to know what you think because you said you had a lot to say.
Well, I think that we have to change as a society how we talk about things like this. So much of, I think, how we treat little girls is based on old, antiquated rules that are frankly a little misogynistic. Instead of teaching adult men and their little friends, their little boy counterparts, hey, this is how you should treat your classmates, for men, these are baby legs, baby bodies, baby skin. We teach girls that they need to cover up, that it's on them. Clothes aren't inherently sexual. It's the actions. It's how you view them. I see a 13-year-old in a 13-year-old skin and body, and that's that. She's wearing a swimsuit. Go get in the pool. Take a picture. She's a baby. It's on everybody around her, and I find it, I don't know, kind of ironic that Pink is publicly calling out a child while also saying that she's trying to protect her. That's kind of embarrassing, right? Like, how do you think that made her feel?
She's calling out the parents.
But she also
calling
said
out
a
the parents.
13-year-old in a bikini. That, you
It's
know.
the posing. It's not like a pool party for kids. I think I do agree with Pink. It made me uncomfortable looking at those photos. I just
think it's
I know
part
my
of a
parents would
larger
never go for that.
conversation. Like, my body developed quicker than some of the other girls around me, and there's so much shame. And I just think, like, long term, we should just be teaching kids to love their bodies and teaching adults and their guy friends to behave.
I mean, I agree with what you're saying in that sense, but I think when you bring up that picture of her in the pool, it's not her just casually having a little swim party with her friends.
Right.
The posing is very intentional. It's very sexualized.
There's no.
It is.
That you don't see this picture as a
She's wearing the
Influences on the posing.
You don't see that as a, really?
I just look at it and I think that it's a kid. I think she's a kid.
I need to jump in here. The posing is from all the influences of surrounding media. She is watching shows probably like the Kardashians or looking at other media, listening to music that's misogynistic or profanity laced. That is just inherent in teenage culture, and so there's so much media surrounding this girl. And why do you think she's posing like that? Look at just advertisement for clothing itself. Yes, absolutely. She is modeling what she sees, her environment. I can't blame her for learning those poses. That's what you see everywhere, even for little girls.
Even if she wasn't trying to be sexual, I think by just being surrounded by those types of images, maybe she, without thinking, is now posing that way. Listen, I will tell you this.
This is a business. She's making money off of this.
And part of it is because
I think there's so many conversations happening. It's about her as a business, but we're also kind of elaborating and taking this further and talking about parents and other children and what your responsibilities are on social media. I will tell you personally, my daughters love to dance, and I would put YouTube videos on for them, and it was Shakira or J-Lo or whatever. And then I started to notice they were starting to copy their dance moves, very sexual dance moves. And I was like, whoa, I do not like this. So I started to let them listen to the music, but I turned off visually what they can see, because without thinking about it, they're just repeating what they see. And I do not want my 5-year-old shaking anything like Shakira or J-Lo.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, agreed. There's an age limit for for the Shakira J-Lo dance move.
Maria, do you want to say anything else?
I just, I think a big part of it has to do with how her body is shaped as well. I think that if she were much slimmer and wasn't as curvy, even for a little girl, I do think the conversation is different. I think that that's just how society works. I do think that's part of it. I don't know. I want us to be nicer to little girls overall.
Well,
I think we want to keep her safe. We're not being, I think it's just, you don't know who those 5 million people are, and I think you just want to keep her safe and protected.
Yeah, but that's the parent's role. So the bottom line, you guys,
absolutely,
the parent's role. As parents, we have control over our children and what they see and what they will become when they're adults, hopefully.
Agreed.
Yes. Okay, that's a great way to end this, because this can go on and on, I see.